Hi, it's Eve Einstein, Mary Magdalene. This is part 2 of Eve Einstein Helps with Achievement of Self-Awareness. This is a comment from senior citizen client Joe Friedman. He said, oh, by the way, he gave me permission to put this on the internet. He said, this is my diary, but I know it's on the internet. He said, if I would take down the sign and picture of him that said, best or sexiest man in the world, as far as I know, I could put it on the internet and include the fact that he wasn't able to get an erection twice. So this is what I'm doing. I took down a picture. This is a picture you're looking at. It was in the hall. I took it down because he said women would want to have sex with him, and he doesn't find the women here at St. Francis of Assisi attractive. He's not attracted to them. So, and he doesn't want to hurt their feelings. Okay. Alright, so this is what he said. It's been a long time since I had an erection, but the other night, during a talk and share session, I had an erection. Okay? So then Eve says, the mental and emotional intimacy of the talk and share questions made him feel physically intimate, and erection naturally followed. Okay, this is what happened. Now, up here, we explain what talk and share is in part 1. It's a kind of therapy that leads to self-awareness, and it's very natural. It's just mostly questions. Okay, so I said here, my profession is as I'm a lyricist, and I'm a talk and share therapist. If you want my help, my expertise, the donation is $10 for 10 minutes. Write a brief paragraph telling me your problem. Send it along with your name, address, telephone number, email address, and $10 for a small problem, $29 donation for a medium problem, and $100 donation for a big problem. Send these things to Michelle Birdsong, 148 8th Avenue. This is Michelle Birdsong. Number 310, New York, New York, 10011. I will get back to you with a written session as soon as possible. Due to COVID-19 social distancing, no in-person visitation is allowed. Okay, so that's it. I had an experience with Joe Friedman. He is a king. He was a king in The King and I. The King of Siam. And he was my husband in a previous life. And recently, I ran out of food stamps and food. And Joe said he had $1,000 in food stamps. So I asked him if he would sell me some. And he said he didn't want to lend his card out to anyone. He would bring me a can of beans, lima beans, from the store. and a few other items I could put on a list. So I made a list, and I gave it to him. Then he said, if it's raining, I can't go to the store. And I said, well, I have to have this from the store, or I won't have any food to eat. So I took back the list. Then today, I saw it wasn't raining, and I saw Joe coming in from outside with 3 huge bags of groceries and not a can of lima beans for me or anything else. So that's his privilege, that's his right. He doesn't have to help me. But yesterday in church service, Rona was there, and Rona entered the church service and started talking about Western beef supermarket, and that was fine, but she kept talking. And I said, and then Eddie walked out, one of the parishioners, and I said to Rona, you drove my parishioner away. You're talking too much. And so then later, when I was talking to Joe, he said, I wouldn't have said that to Rona. And I said, well, Rona always talks too much. And poor Father Tom, he has to listen to her, and she goes on, and in bingo, she talks about her personal problems over and over. So he said, you go to bingo? And I said, sometimes. I won some gift cards to Subway. He said, they have vegetarian sandwiches at Subway? I said, yes. They're Sikhs, and they have cucumbers, spinach, fresh spinach, avocado, of course it costs extra, green peppers, onions, jalapeno peppers, tomatoes. Yes, they have great food. I used to get it every day before they closed, just to have fresh vegetables. So, anyway, he said, I wouldn't have said that to Rona. I believe in being kind. And I said, well, who goes in a church and starts talking? That's why they have, in meetings, they have sergeant at arms, and they have security to keep people who would disrupt the meeting from disrupting the meeting. But anyway, he made it out to be that he was this kind person who wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings, but he wouldn't bring me a $2 can of lima beans, and he has $1,000 in food stamps. So is he kind? Is he a good person? Or is he so cowardly he doesn't want to confront anybody out of order? He wants to keep the peace. He wants to go with the flow. He wants to keep everything calm and leave it up to other people to keep the order, people like me, and then criticize me for keeping the order. So, this is just a discussion of character. That's all I want to say. I'm not angry. He has a right to be who he is, and this obviously was my karma, so God is clearing up karma. This is good for me to go through. I'm just sharing what I went through. Anyway, I sent Eddie to Western Beef store that Rona recommended, and the prices were half that of Gristedes. So, and Rona had given me an apple, and because most of my teeth are missing, I thought I couldn't eat apples, but it's a Macintosh apple, and I was able to eat it. So it turns out, Rona said yesterday, I was just trying to help, but she really doesn't know when to stop talking. But the point is, I'm grateful to her for telling me about Western beef, because I didn't have that much money to spend. And April, the chef here at St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3, told me months ago to shop at Western Beef, but I didn't want to shop at Western Beef because of the name beef, and I'm a vegetarian. I didn't know how cheap it was, how inexpensive it was. But so I'm very grateful to the ladies for their help, and I think that's all I wanted to say. Is there more? And turns out Rona did me a solid. She showed me that I can eat apples again as long as they're Macintosh apples, which were my favorites anyway. And she showed me a place to shop, because since I have so little money, I can afford to buy food. So thank you, Rona. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Rona is Sir Conan Doyle, or Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And he wrote the Sherlock Holmes mysteries. And Eve BS Sherlock Holmes in a parallel life. So you see the connection between Rona and Eve and Sherlock Holmes and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. There's no coincidence. Well, Charan Singh, being Jesus Christ, said there's no such thing as a coincidence. So the people in our lives that we have karma with, that we have relations with, we've known in parallel lives. It's just interesting to find out who they are. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. This is Eve Einstein, Mary Magdalene, Queen of Information. Thank you.